guys. I see you guys are back, I see. Anyway, I was thinking of doing, for this next episode, I'm thinking of doing another fighting game. I don't know, I have a lot of them, but I don't want to do a Street Fighter game, or Mortal Kombat, or a Smash Brothers. I want to save some Smash Brothers ones for later as well. So, what do you guys think I should do? I have a lot of them. What do you guys think? What's your view on this? Well, you could do Injustice, Gods Among Us. I know you have two versions of it, but I think you should do the PS4 version, man. It's a much better version and it's pretty awesome, and even for PS4, so totally do that, man. Totally. Yeah, dude, Injustice is awesome. Like, again, you said you got like two versions of it. Of course, you have the PS4 version, which is a bit better. Totally do that. Really fun stuff, man. Really fun stuff. In fact, I could even say it's super. Really? That's cool. Injustice, huh? Oh, and by the way, you two, I swear, I think you guys must have known I was going to do this review, because you got some good taste and search for this episode. Well, anyway, you heard it here, folks. It's Injustice Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition for PS4. This edition, a power-up. So let's roll those fancy credits and get to doing some superhero awesome stuff. Injustice was released in 2013 for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Wii U, among other platforms. But the version I'm reviewing is the Ultimate Edition, which was released in November of the same year. In it, well, storyline-wise, it's an interesting storyline. Basically, in an alternate universe of sorts, the Joker fools Superman into killing his wife, Lois Lane, and their unborn child. As a result of that, and also in the meanwhile, it destroys Metropolis as well. Anyway, Superman is really distraught, and he's really like, ugh. So he actually kills the Joker for his role in that, which then after that, he basically tells the world, enough of this. There'll be no more war, no more conflict, no more anything, just peace. And he sets himself up as the High Counselor. But, as you know, the other superheroes aren't too happy about that, and start a insurgency to stop him and put the world back and remove him from power. Of course, though, he recruits some heroes of his own, which makes things really interesting. But though, of course, you're thinking, so did they fight each other? Yes. Well, in a way. Basically, not to give too much away, some of those members of that insurgency finds out that there's our world where the Joker's plan didn't succeed. It's still there. Metropolis is still there. So they bring some of our heroes from our universe over to theirs to help set things right. They do fight each other. For gameplay, it's pretty interesting. Unlike some fighting games which give you like up to 4 rounds, or even more if you set the length of match correctly. Anyway, in this game, in Injustice, it's just one long round or match or whatever, and each character has 2 life bars. So and the match will go on until one character lose both his life bars. It's cool. Also, what's cool about this game is destructible. Well, I shouldn't say destructible. I should say interactable environments. As you fight, as you go back and forth, as you walk back and forth in the match, if you beat or whatever, if you push R, I think it's R1, and when you see the icon, you'll do let's say if you're Wonder Woman fighting Green Lantern, and you're fighting, and then you see let's say in Atlantis, underwater, when you see the R1, flashing, you can hit him into the background. You hit Aquaman's throne or something, or in the, let's see here, I'm trying to think now, or also you can do is you can use it also let's say if you're in this one area too, you can there's this flying car that looks kind of like a DeLorean, by the way. You can take that thing and toss it at the player. You can keep it out of the sky and toss it at your opponent for mega damage, which is kind of neat. And also, what is cool is there are multiple, the thing that makes me think of Mortal Kombat 3, in which there's the arenas have more than one arena in that level or whatever. You know how in Mortal Kombat 3, where you could uppercut your opponent into another area of, if you're in the Soul or this one arena, you could uppercut them into another part of the arena, which is pretty cool. Anyway, in Injustice, if you hold, if you hold back, and I forget what button it is, but if you hold long enough, if that arena has another part of the level, if that arena has another part of the arena to go to, you can punch her. You can send them to that next part of the arena. For instance, in the Metropolis area, if you do that correctly, you'll punch them or something through a lot of buildings and stuff. Of course, you are taking damage, by the way, which is even better or worse if you're the opponent. But you'll go through this little animation, these cool little things if you're going through all these, and you'll land right on another part of the area. So if you're in the Metropolis, you'll be on the street, and if you do that arena shift, you hit them to the next part of the arena, you'll land up on the roof of another building somewhere. And also, just quickly as an example for the Batcave too. The Batcave was like that too. So if you knock your opponent to another area, you'll knock him. I think in the case of the Batcave, you'll knock him down You'll knock him down into another level of the Batcave, which is pretty cool. Okay. Also in this game, there are super meters, and there's an ability meter of sorts. And there's also wage things you can do with one of those meters. For the super meter, you'll notice it on the bottom of the side of your character is, and as you give or receive damage, that meter will fill. And at any time during the I think it might be even if you're on your second life bar, if at any time you can do a certain button combination, you can do a wager. So you and your friend have to wager how much of that meter you want to bet against, and if you're successful, you'll get a little health back. If the other player is successful, I forget what happens exactly. I think you get more damage or something like that. So that's pretty cool. But the main reason for that meter is if it's totally filled, you can do your character's super move. Or I should say, ultra awesome move. For example, if you're Superman, you'll and it has to connect too in its own way. So for certain characters, it has to connect. So let's say again, if you're for instance, Green Arrow, the Green Arrow will shoot an explosive arrow, and if that arrow hits that character, then you'll be able to do the move. Likewise, if it misses, then no go. But anyway, for example, back to my example of Superman, if he connects, he'll take the opponent and uppercut him right into literally outer space, and he'll fly up after your opponent and whammy him and I know I said whammy, that you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean when you do it. Anyway, you'll whammy him all the way back down to Earth. Of course, that's because he's Superman. He can be more extravagant per se. For Batman and like Green Arrow, my aforementioned version of the Green Arrow, they're not as extravagant, but they can do a heck of a lot of damage nonetheless. And they're pretty cool no matter which way you do it. No matter which one, I think they're all pretty awesome, and it suits their character well, which is pretty neat. And finally, each character has another like ability meter, and that is achieved, I think, by pressing, for the PS3 and PS4 versions anyway, if you press the circle button or O button or whatever, you'll do like, let's say if you're the Green Lantern, or we'll say Superman. For Superman, he'll get like an increase. He'll have an increase in strength for a little bit. Or for Batman, he'll get these robotic bats and send them after you and explode in your face pretty much. But yeah, so that's pretty cool, I think. Yeah. Anyway, I think I really enjoy this game, as you see in most of my reviews. Anyway, I was able to get these. I think you can still get this game. I got mine for pretty not too bad. And I actually I like this game so much, I got multiple versions of it. But also what's cool is they are making a sequel to this game. And that game will be out next year, I believe. And I think there are even more characters in it than this one had, which is awesome. But anyway, I'm not gonna get too much time. You've heard me. I'm not gonna say. I think. Anyway, I'm not gonna gush over this game too much. But I think the controls were good. It played well. The story mode was alright. There's a story mode too, and there is also there is a story mode which you can play through the story of the game, and there's also an arcade mode. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm sorry about that. There's a arcade. There's like a ladder mode where you can fight like a traditional arcade style game. It's cool as you can do different. I thought for this review, I thought the traditional ladder mode, but there's you can fight like only heroes or only villains, and there's other modifications you can make that you can fight, who can fight against. And also apparently there's also you can get experience points. Although that's, I think, for the experience points and leveling up, I think that's mostly for use for the online play. But I think it's pretty cool. But anyway, let me think what else. Yeah, and I think there's also Star Labs missions you can do, and there's a couple other things you can do. But I'll let you, the player, figure that out, because as always for my reviews, I just like to give you the running basics of what you need to do, and I'll leave you, the player, to figure that out. But anyway, enough of that. I will give my recommendation scale of highly recommended. And as usual, if you live in or around South St. Paul, Minnesota, or the Twin Cities or Minnesota area, please visit my good friends at Level Up Games. As you know, they're a place where they are, the picture there, address and other stuff down there. Hello again. And if you're seeing this on YouTube, Peachy Steak. And if you like what you see, please subscribe if you haven't done so already. And also, I have a Facebook fan and group page, a Twitter feed, as well as an Instagram account, and all that stuff's down below as well. Well, as always, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode of Power Up. Wow guys, that was an excellent episode as always. So, what do you think? So do you guys have any ideas for me to do for the next episode? We're almost to 100. This will be episode 98. Peaches and Steak. Well, anyway guys, Any ideas? I don't know, dude. Well, you keep asking us what episode you're gonna do next. Who knows? We might even be figments of your imagination. Who knows, man? Who knows? All I'm doing is reading some good stuff. Probably pertinent to the game you're reviewing. But it could be just me. Could be. I don't know, man. I don't know what game we should do. What he said, it's like, well, what are you asking us? For all we know, we could be like imaginary ghosts. But who knows? I'm not Superman, Times 2. Well, somehow you guys are. I tell you, you guys are a barrel full of ideas. Well, anyway, thank you. I guess I'll see you guys next episode.